Discussing the role and possibilities of artificial intelligence in our future is useless if we do not know what we're really talking about, right? So I'm very happy that the next guest can fill us in, and that's Francisca Gromme, and she's a top talent fellow with the Erasmus Initiative's Societal Impact of AI. Give a hand of applause. So I tripped on these words during our rehearsal. I tripped again. Do you ever get to say it like flawlessly?
I never say the whole thing. It makes me a little bit shy to sort of use that whole title, although I'm honored to, be part of that group. But we can say AIPact, research fellow.
The AI Impact. Okay,
yeah.
Very good. So Francisca, I have a Google Home at home, and so a voice assistant. And to be honest, I only argue with it because my favorite band is Siouxsie and the Banshee, and when I ask it to play it, it usually comes out with something silly like sexy band-aids or something.
Can you buy them on the internet?
The sexy band-aids?
The sexy band-aids.
Probably, everything's out on the internet these days. But how smart is AI? Because mine's pretty dumb, to be honest.
Well, we can try it out.
Yeah,
we have one
you
here.
brought one, huh?
Yeah.
You brought one. Let me whip out a microphone. And let me ask it, the first question that's on my mind is actually, I need to address it, right?
Yes, you
Okay, Google.
I can't reach the internet right now.
Oh, guys, it's always the same.
That's really nice. I love this.
I swear I had it connected all the time. That's okay. We can move on.
Well, maybe you can explain to us the definition of artificial intelligence.
So,
not so smart now, without the internet.
Well, that's exactly part of the thing, right? For most of the applications, we need to be on the internet. Part of what it would have answered, there would have been two key words, that it is intelligent, more or less demonstrated by machines instead of natural intelligence by humans, and that it more or less can act more or less autonomously and make these decisions, that it can perceive more or less its environment and take actions on the basis of it. So what you take from that are really a few key words: intelligence, decision-making, autonomy. But all of that stays rather abstract in a way, right? What we usually refer to as intelligent at this day and age, in relation to AI, is that we create models that use all the data that we generate today. So we generate a lot of data, right? By being on Tinder, by browsing on the internet, by looking for the way in our cars. All this data can be constantly used to update computer models that can make decisions that are more and more detailed in a way. But because we create all that data, we can also make machines and technologies that can act in, a large variety of circumstances and a large variety of applications, from industrial to, Netflix recommendations. And that is very different from what we did with AI in the past, when people had to think of all the possible scenarios in advance to program these into our computers. And I think that is part of what we now refer to as intelligence, is this machine learning from all the different types of data that we create today. However, I'm saying this, but there's of course a lot of variety and debate about the topic. Everybody will have their own definition. If I only talk about intelligence, this is usually not something that people agree on what is intelligent. A self-driving car wouldn't recognize a snowman in some cases. So they don't deal very well sometimes with unexpected situations. So this is why people say, well, AI is the one technology that is unintelligent. So please take it as an ongoing debate what we actually mean by these types of technologies. And then there's also a wide range of them. It's difficult to see where artificial intelligence will stop and where it will end. So for instance, this little machine, hey, it's working. This little machine, it can respond to my voice, recognize my voice, make sense of natural language, but it can also browse the internet, but then it also does fairly simple things. If I ask it, hey, what do you think of me? It will always respond with a pre-programmed, very simple sentence that I'm very nice. And of course, it's trying to make me buy things from the internet, essentially, which is also, a feature of AI today. Well, such definitions, I think they leave some questions unanswered. Why is there so much hope and hype around AI? Why are we all gathered here? Why does almost everyone seem to have an opinion about it? And why are so many people so fascinated with it? And, well, to just go to an example of our fascination with AI is when thousands of viewers witness two voice assistants like this one talking independently to each other. And over their conversation, they fell in love. This is at least what people observing them for 10 hours or more said to each other. Of course, people observing this were joking because they know they're not real humans, but still we're attributing human qualities a lot when we talk about AI. And that also ended up in many numerous blogs on what it actually meant to be human. Because when we talk about AI, we often really talk about ourselves and the limits of human capacity. So that is one characteristic, it's really often about ourselves. Another characteristic is that AI is at the same time real and it contains large parts of our imagination. And this attracts our fascination, but it also poses challenges. So in popular culture of the late 60s, voice assistants are already there. So most of you will know HAL 9000 from Space Odyssey. But then in the 1998 Star Trek movie, Captain Picard, he walks into his living room, taking a break from, being captain of the Enterprise, and the following happens.
Computer music. No, not that. Something Latin.
Specify.
A mambo. That's more like it.
So it's a lot like the Siris and Alexas we know today, of course, and this is no coincidence. Voice assistant designers have repeatedly referred to Star Trek when they explain what their inspiration is. You can also use Star Trek commands in these. So here is this interaction between, real technological capacity and what we imagine. And the fact, that we can realize these types of artificial intelligence, that does not really mean that it's limitless. We can't, make everything that is around in science fiction, but it also doesn't mean it's without its social or ethical challenges. For instance, what lots of people here also know is that most voice assistants, in the beginning, they're usually programmed with female voices, because apparently we can't really imagine, another gender as a homemaker. But that doesn't mean that, these challenges cannot be addressed. For instance, there's a Danish collective of organizations that created a genderless voice assistant called Q. We also have feminist designers that are programming voice assistants to respond that are less submissive and more assertive. So hopefully, this gives also an idea is that, well, one of the questions and issues here is who gets to participate in actually shaping the technologies that we use in the ways we like. And hopefully, this is an example that illustrates that and also tells us why it can pay off not only to train algorithms, but also to train our imaginations.
Thank you, Francisca. Thank you. So for a final question, can I still ask him the question?
Oh, let's see
the
if
one
it
that's
works
still
now.
on my
I'm
mind.
hoping
Oh
it
no,
works.
the internet, you closed it.
No, it should be, so
okay.
We can try.
Okay, Google.
I can't reach the internet.
Okay, never mind.
This is for the drinks afterwards. Please take him to the bar. We can have a ball with him. Thank you, or her, or it. Thank you so much for taking us further down the rabbit hole of AI.